Hello everyone, I'm Eli G. Brown / Eli J. Brony, and do you know what time of the year it is? That's right, it's Christmas! But this year happens to be the 10th year of being a Zelda fan. In Christmas of 2006, my sister got me Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. It was quite an amazing game, and I have played other Zelda games in the series, such as Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. And it's a pretty good franchise all the same, but in this video, I'm going to talk about a certain NPC in the game that I had been focused on for such a long time. Which character is that, you ask? Well, it just so happens to be Princess Ruto. Now, when I first encountered her inside Jabu Jabu's belly, I didn't think she was going to play a major role later in the game. At that moment, when I first saw her, she was a nobody. But then, as soon as I finished the dungeon, she gives Link the Zora Sapphire and says, "My mother told me to give this stone only to the man who would be my husband." Now, I don't know if I even acknowledged that line the first time I played the game, but as soon as I met with her again in the water temple later in the game, and she reminded Link about being engaged, I was like, oh yeah, they're going to get married. And from that point in time, I imagined them together. As I played through the water temple, and trust me, it took me a couple of days to get finished like with most dungeons since this was my first time playing the game, and I didn't know where everything was, I got to thinking, what if Ruto turns out to be the Sage of Water? Saria was said to be in the 4th temple and she turned out to be a sage. Darunio was in the Fire temple and he turned out to be a sage. Is Ruto going to be a sage too? Now, when I was a kid, I dreaded this thought. But who else could the Sage of Water be? Maybe it was King Zora? Well, can't be him because he's still in Zora's domain. And it was Ruto who went to the water temple. So I finally made my way to the boss room and I defeated the boss. As I entered the portal that would take me to the Chamber of the Sages, I had no idea as to who to expect to be the Sage of Water. And wouldn't you know it was Princess Ruto. Big surprise, my prediction was correct. Now, another question some may have would be, if Ruto is the Sage of Water, does that mean her and Link's wedding can no longer happen? Well, when Ruto is awakened as a sage, she says, "As a reward, I grant my eternal love to you." Well, that's what I want to say, but I don't think I can offer that now. Of course, she only said she couldn't offer her love to Link now. She did not say that she couldn't offer it to him ever. But even if she could still have love for Link despite being a sage, she and Link wouldn't have been able to get married anyway, at least in the fallen hero or adult timelines that follow Ocarina of Time, the former being due to Link being dead, and the latter being due to Link being sent back to his childhood. Of course, in the child timeline, Ruto, and by further extension, any character who became a sage, never does. But would they still be destined to? And even if there was nothing to stop Link and Ruto from getting married, do you think Link would have wanted to get married to her anyway? Or do you think he would rather be with some other girl like Zelda or Malon? Different Zelda fans have different opinions as to which girl Link should get married to. Not everybody is going to agree on it being Ruto, but it is an interesting thought about if they should or shouldn't get married. Now, I'm going to pretty much point out some things that actually were not in the original script. When Link first encounters Ruto inside the water temple, as soon as she says, "It's me, your fiancé, Ruto, Princess of the Zora," Link makes a gasping face. It's like, what? I was supposed to get married to you? And when Ruto awakens as a sage and states that she grants her eternal love to him, he also moves in shock. So, what do you think that could mean? Does that mean that he has no interest in marrying her? Or that he's just a bit surprised that they were engaged at all? You can tell me what you think. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this. Anyway, I'm glad that you took your time in watching this video, and be sure to give me your thoughts about all of this, and I will see you again next time.